Good morning, Derek. Good morning, good friend. Good morning, Billy. Those are the two I want to talk to. Bill and Derek, answer this question. Is it inappropriate? No, wrong way. Should I wait till after Thanksgiving to play Christmas carols? Good morning, Wazin Lurker. Thank you for your kind words this morning, Wazzy. Um, do, do I have to wait till after Thanksgiving? Okay, Derek's no. You can play him now, Pop. Silent Night. Go for it. What do you think, Billy D? Do I have to wait till after Thanksgiving? The exception saying carol it up, bro. What's the general consensus out there? Do you light your tree before Thanksgiving? Do you light your tree, your Christmas tree, before Thanksgiving? I'm getting one of those yard things. I am. I'm getting one of those yard things where it shines a light on your house, or you don't have to hang lights. And it spins around. So it's going to create like a light effect on the outside of the house. You know what I'm talking about. And it's programmed, it's got a solar thing where it comes on when it's dark. What do you guys think? Should I be playing that on the outside of my house before Thanksgiving? I haven't ordered it yet because I keep thinking if I have it, I'm going to put it out. I feel like I should wait till Thanksgiving for it. This is what I'm talking about. Order that toy. Order it now, Pops. I have this sitting in my cart. Or you just put that little guy in the lawn and then it lights up your house. The fastest, easiest way to decorate your house. Well, come on, Pop. Oh. What's going on? Things that make me go, Should I get this guy? Light up the outside of my house. Turns on automatically. With the built-in light sensor. Turns on. What do you guys think? The house is white. It's like a very, very, very light yellow. Yes. He's trying to be the decorator. Now let's decide the color of your house. The house should be the right color. This all started because I wanted to play Christmas carols this morning. Cyber Jolie, I should do it. I almost have to take your word for it. She's a beautiful decorator. I'm thinking about getting that thing. I won't play it before Thanksgiving, though. No way. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. But you just put it in the lawn and walk away, and you're good until morning time. It's decorating you. I think I'm gonna do it. You guys all seem like a little slow this morning. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're talking to each other and I'm just white noise. 42 people, 14 likes. You don't like anything today. None of you like a thing. Okay? Thank you, Reflection. After this many years, okay? Be that guy, Pops. Play Christmas jams. Put my Bose speakers on the front porch and blare Silent Night. Okay? Kimberly, this is the first year I've been thinking about doing it. I'm kind of a Grinchy relative to Christmas lights. They bug me. It only bugs me because people turn them into wars. It's like, stop competing with your neighbor about who has more lights. Knock it off. I also have PTSD about Christmas lights. Nowadays, they're not as bad. But back in the day, if you guys were somewhere around Pop's generation, do you remember when you would have to take the Christmas lights down? Worst chore of the year. Go take the boys. It was always boys, my brother and myself. My dad would be sitting in his chair. Boys, go take the Christmas lights down. So we take the Christmas lights down, climbing the ladder every time. You have to take it off this nail and then off of that nail. And the worst part was when you roll them up and you're just in a hurry. You're not thinking about next year. You're not even considering next year when you have to unroll them. Okay? You remember you just put away a basket full of colored lights on a snake. Yeah, and it was always wet and cold, Higgs. Exactly. Oh. Yep. 100%. Oh, gosh, darn it. Forget Christmas lights. Not doing it. Okay? Yeah, think Christmas vacation cleaning. Yeah. Great scene. Happy Veterans Day. To all you veterans out there. Thank you for your service. You know, whether you served in 1978 or you served 2 years ago or you're serving now, we've all got a brotherhood. It doesn't matter which service you were in, even though we all know which is the best service. And which is the worst. Navy, forget it. Only because Marines were bred. We were being programmed in boot camp to not like the Navy. Even though technically the Marine Corps belongs to the Department of the Navy. It's a subset. However, it has a particular designation. It's called, as a group, the Corps is called the President's Own, which means, and this is part of the Constitution, the way it's written up, for the President to go to war and use the Department of the Air Force, Army, and Navy, he has to get congressional approval. They have to agree, all right, you can declare war. Present circumstances withstanding. But he has the legal right as presidential power, to call out the Marine Corps anywhere and any time for any action that he decides across the globe. So you're literally the president's little army in a way. We always thought we were cooler than the rest of you guys because we could get called out when you guys couldn't. Made us cooler. Besides, we were a bunch of wild kids that they had to tame in order to make it. There's a thing on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet. I was going to wait till today. It's a Marines 4-part documentary. Thank you for your service. I was such a neat kid then. The Marines taught me a lot, though, in terms of discipline. I was always kind of a neat-nick kid. My brother was a little on the sloppier side growing up. Not now. But boy, I loved lining up all my gear. I loved going to inspections. I wasn't the guy that like, oh gosh darn it, not another inspection. I was like, inspection? Yeah, let's go check it out. Yeah, I'm okay. Inspections. Okay, enough about Pops and the Marine Corps. That's enough out of you. Remember yesterday we did a rando facto that was really long about sausage poison in our face? How we sausage poison our faces. I always say face like that because when we were growing up, that's how we would make fun of each other. Oh yeah, look at your face. Really? Yeah, we always had to add some creepiness to face. And then draw it out. Face. Good morning, everybody. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. I'll start reading. A game of chicken. Can I get some more likes before we go? 42 people, 25 likes. Oh, that's cool, Anthony. Sausage talk. Herbie Von Worby Kaburp. Give me some more likes. 4228. 4228. That means some of you your thumbs have just been lazy this morning. You forgot to double tap your screen. You forgot to double tap your screen. Okay. Queenie says go 3 times. Derek Anderson got rid of the fart joke. Bro, we've never met you before. And we love you. Come on back. We only deleted the one message. It's because we don't know you yet. You come in here and talk about old people and farting. So you hang around and make another comment soon and make it something really nice. Like, hey everybody, I'm so-and-so from such and such a place. And we'll like send you some chocolate donuts and love you. Okay? A game of chicken. Gambling in medieval France was a simple business. All you needed were some friends, a pot, and a chicken. Yeah, that doesn't sound that simple to me. How many people have chickens sitting around? Okay? I'm Elliot from Passamaquoddy. Okay, Passamaquoddy. How many people have chickens sitting around? I used to. I raised chickens for a little while. Fantastic, neat animal. I loved my chickens. Exception has chickens, that's right. That's right, Exception, you can play this game. Exception has 6 of them. Paranoid Goats, that's right. Paranoid has some. Notorious has 7. Okay, Kimberly gets them randomly. Jesus Christ has them in the soup. Thank you, Jesus. Okay? Yeah. A few of you have chickens then. I'd say a good 10%, 20% of you guys have chickens. Yeah. Greenie, I love a chicken. I love you too. Nippy, that's right. Nippy's got chickens. Yep. Corey's got a rooster in the neighborhood. Young Crow. We're going to go ahead and delete that comment. We're just going to delete that. It has no value here. Young Crow. We're not deleting you, just your message. Just that particular message. Okay? Yeah, now you just can't stop it, can you, kid? What are you, 14? 12? What are you? Don't worry about it. Nobody here cares. Okay. I'm just reading comments now because I want to look at who's got chickens. Bunch of chickens. Gambling in medieval France was a simple business. All you needed were some friends, a pot, and a chicken. In fact, you didn't even need the friends. You could do this with your enemies. But the pot and the chicken were essential. First, each person puts an equal amount of money in the pot. Nobody should on any account make a joke about a paltry sum. You know the word we use, paltry sum now? Paltry sum? Oh, it's a paltry sum. This is where it comes from. When they would put the chicken and the money in the pot, the total is called the poultry sum. Okay? No, true story. We're doing etymology this morning. That was a good joke by Kim, though. A really good joke. Shoo the chicken away to a reasonable distance. What's a reasonable distance? About a stone's throw. Now, pick up a stone. Now you all take turns hurling stones at that poor bird, which will squawk and flap and run about. The first person to hit the chicken wins all the money in the pot. You then agree to never mention any of this to an animal rights campaigner. PETA, you don't tell them what you just did. That's how the French played a game of chicken. The French, though, being French, called it a game of poulet, which is French for chicken. And the chap who had won all the money therefore won the jeu de poulet. The term got transferred to other things. At card games, the pot of money in the middle of the pool of the table came to be known as the pool. Poulet. English gamblers picked up the term and brought it back with them in the 17th century. They changed the spelling to pool, P-O-O-L, but they still had a pool of money in the middle of the table. It should be noted that this pool of money has absolutely nothing to do with the body of water. Swimming pools, rock pools, and liver pools are utterly different things. Back to gambling. When billiards became a popular sport, people started to gamble on it. And this variation was known as pool. Hence, shooting pool. Then finally, that poor French chicken broke free from the world of gambling, and it soared majestically beyond, out into the clear air beyond. on the basis that gamblers pooled their money, people started to pool their resources and even pool their cars in a carpool. Then they pooled their typists in a typing pool. Le Chicon was free. And then he grew bigger than any of us because since the phrase was invented in 1941, we have all become part of the gene pool, which etymologically means that we are all a little bit of chicken. Hey, was that a good one? Was that a good one? This started out with a chicken in a pot and throwing some stones at it. I thought that was a good one, Derek. Okay? Maybe not as good as the archery, but that was pretty good. Look at how the word morphs and it changes in its meaning and it starts being attached in other ways. Okay? Kim. If Kim liked it, she's going to tell it in class. I think that was a really good one. We'll do another one tomorrow. I like those. Give me 5 people that like etymology. Our little etymology lesson in the morning. This week. We'll just do it this week and see how we go. Give me 5 people that are like, let's do an etymology lesson in the morning. We'll learn stuff together. That's great. Let's read this wonderful article together. Sammy P., you're not a chicken. Don't take it personal. Lucky lures, if Lucky loves it, I love it too. Okay? Lynette, that's what we do here, right? We learn. Okay? We need to get fleeky in the dictionary. Yeah, we should have that. I agree with you. It needs to be in the dictionary. Jaime Alvarez Acosta has had many great teachers, but the one who shaped him the most is not even human. After 30 years of study under Huachu Yumahita, otherwise known as San Pedro, he works with the master plant in ways most Westerners have never even heard of, like healing people in their dreams. Does this guy sound interesting? Do you want to hear what he has to say this morning? He's been working with San Pedro, which we all know is a peyote plant, peyote cactus. He's been working with this for 30 years. I would consider he's probably a master at this point. Let's hear what he has to say, you guys. Or should I pick a different article? I don't have one ready, but let's do this one. Yeah. We asked Jaime why San Pedro isn't considered medicine in the Andean tradition. What's lost when you isolate mescaline from the plant? And what dangers await people who enter the spirit world recklessly? Joe, I really didn't have any other option. This was what I had ready. Okay. How did you get initiated into the lineage of Apu Wachumihita? And what was your early relationship with San Pedro like? I love how it says San Pedro like it's a person. My grandmother worked with plants. She created remedies for people in the community and received clients in the house where I grew up. She was what people now call a healer. Sometimes she used Wachumita or San Pedro to prepare things, but her work had nothing to do with spiritual journeys. She used it for its anti-inflammatory properties, for healing bones and muscles. Later, she passed, and we were living in Lima. I found a teacher who talked about history and tradition. He would show us ceramics that the ancestors created with their faces on them. This teacher introduced me to Wachumita for the first time in ceremony when I was maybe 15. It was overwhelming. I had strong visions of all of these different realities. My elder said to me, Jamie, it's good to have this awakening, but you're not ready to continue walking this path. It's really different. Go train, prepare, and learn a little bit more before you meet the master plant again. So from there I went back to Cusco and I began to study at the university. Later, life brought me the opportunity to find my old teacher who reintroduced me to Wachumita. I followed him around for almost 9 years of preparation, and then 2 or 3 years of apprenticeship, where he was looking at how I directed my own ceremonies. It's a very long journey. What is the difference between a master plant and a plant medicine? He answers. So Sandy, you showed up here, huh? And, I get it. What is the difference between a master plant and a plant medicine? When I was getting started, my teacher helped me understand all the Andean philosophy, the sacred symbols, and the biology of this path. We had classes and exercises where we'd go to the mountains, contemplate and touch stones, or do simple things that helped us feel connected with nature. At one point he said to me, Jamie, until this point it's been possible for me to teach you. After this I have to introduce you to my master, my elder. Everyone was waiting. We thought it would be a different living person coming that night. Then he brought out a beautiful ceramic jar and he said, I'm going to introduce you guys to my teacher, my master, Wachumita San Pedro. It was a spiritual master, not a physical one. Every time we held ceremonies, the elders talked about the master, never about medicine. I'm 50 years old, so this was maybe 30 years ago. Every ceremony was like a class. The master would sit with you and have you read one chapter of your own internal book, your own life. From that, he would show you, he'd say, okay, what did you learn? You see that you made a mistake here because you repeat patterns. Go in this direction right now. You'd have his guidance. Years later at a conference in Cusco, one elder stood up and said, humanity is sick. They're disconnected from Mother Earth. We need to help them heal. I think the best way is to let the plant spirits that guide us go out and guide these people too. Maybe it will be the medicine they need to come back. That's when the language began to shift towards medicine. But the traditional way was always about the master plant as a teacher and a guide. How do you typically work with San Pedro in your tradition? When do you bring it in San Pedro versus working with other plants or modalities? The relationship to any master plant is not limited to ceremony. The spirits guide us in different ways. I'll interject my own little part there. It's not. Your relationship to master plant, master fungi, isn't just the ceremony itself or ingesting and experiencing. Just growing it is an amazing class in your own personality. Sharing it with other people, providing when you should get some of the feedback from some of these people that I get the feedback from that is so personal I can't share it, but it's mind-blowing. Your relationship is not just ingesting. It's all-encompassing. It truly is. Especially when you're considering it something sacred, master, medicine, and not something to make money off of. That's the biggest thing. Do you need to make money to live? Yeah. Yeah, you do. Today's times are rough for people right now. I'm telling you, rough. A little interjection. You know, the whole SNAP thing. Well, maybe they're ironing it out. Maybe they're figuring it out now. But it's missing all the ingredients it should have had in the agreements. And people's insurance are still going to get blah, blah. I'm not being political. But, you know, there's an outfall. There's an outfall to people that can't buy food. They have to choose between rent and food, lights on and food, kids' new book for the class they're about to start, or food. Being a landlord, 2 of the properties that I rent, I have forgiven the people for paying rent for the last 2 months. And it's not like you'll pay me back later. And yet I still have to pay the mortgage on those properties. So we have people that are owning things that can't even pay for them. Oh, the bank. I'm supposed to get it down here. It's supposed to come to here. I got to put it up there. Well, it's a crescendo effect. And nobody's looking at it. You look at the grocery stores. My grocery stores around here have a lot of EBT cards in them. Tell you, yeah, we take those cards. Walk in them, they're empty. There's nobody in there buying. How long can the owner of the store keep the full staff of clerks? And it goes on and on and on. And then you have people that come to you because they think you're somehow wealthy and they are asking for money from you. And you want to help them. So you dibble a little here and you dibble a little there and you dibble a little here. And it's poof, it's nothing for them. It's a lot for them, but it lasts a week. You're hearing frustration in my voice. You're hearing frustration. I went through this morning, reading an email from a friend of mine. And I was like, Pops, why are you frustrated? Why are you ready to get angry? I feel the anger coming on. Anger at everybody out there for not respecting the humanity of this situation. And I said, you know why you're frustrated, Pops? And this is true, I'm not trying to be a saint. I promise. I walked through we're talking about anger in our emotion class today. Right? And I told you guys yesterday, there's an underlying issue to your anger, or to why you're getting mad, why you're starting to raise your voice. There's an underlying issue. You know what and I'm like, I heard myself talking yesterday. I said, what is it? What do you think it is? And I said, it's frustration. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated by 2 major things. I'm frustrated by injustice. When I see injustice, it frustrates me. Why? Why you? Why would you get frustrated? Because I can't do anything about it. Therein lies my frustration. I can't do anything about it. I want to do more. And my more is like a drop in the bucket. So that's the frustration. So what do I do with that? I go to the fourth agreement. I go to the fourth agreement now. Just do your best. Do your best. If you've done your best, if you've given the most that you can, if you've helped this tenant and that tenant and this relative and that next door neighbor and that friend and these 4 people, if you've done that, you're probably doing your best. It's like, I gotta take a deep breath then. And I don't have to get angry. And then I can relieve the frustration. I hope you guys don't mind that I went tangential on you. So relationship to the master plant isn't limited to ceremony. The spirits guide us in different ways. Sometimes it's through offerings to the Pachamama or working with specific herbs for physical healing. But when we need deep spiritual guidance to help someone see their patterns or understand their path, that's when we work with Wachumita in ceremony. One thing people don't understand is that we also work with people in their sleep. When someone has a deep issue, sometimes the best healing happens when they're dreaming. I had one client dealing with heavy trauma. We did work with him in ceremony, but the real breakthrough came when the master plant visited him in his dreams over several nights. He woke up with clarity he couldn't get any other way. This is traditional work. Sometimes just a drop is enough to create that connection. As a facilitator, you'll learn to listen to what the master plan is telling you about each person. Sometimes people come in thinking they need a big ceremony. What they actually need is to learn how to make offerings to the earth. That's beautiful right there. I need a big ceremony. No. You need to go pick up some rocks, sit on a rock, and contemplate. Do that for a while. Start in the foundation. I love that. Some people come in thinking that they need a big ceremony. What they actually need is to learn how to make offerings to the earth. Other times, someone needs a deep journey right away. And when you're a guiding ceremony, you always need to drink at least a little bit yourself to stay connected. Hold the space. And be aware of where everyone is in the spiritual world. One for you, one for me. Eyedropper. One for you, 2 for me. Facilitator joke. Mescaline. Have you ever tried synthetic mescaline? How does that experience compare to working with the master plant? I tried synthetic mescaline once, maybe 10 years ago, because I was curious. The first thing I noticed is that the experience is totally different. With the synthetic, you have visions, but there's no guidance. It's like you're floating around without a teacher to direct you. You're having an experience, but you're not learning anything or being shown where you need to grow. With Wachumita, there's an intelligence guiding you. The plant spirit sits with you, shows you specific things you need to see. It asks you questions and helps you understand your life. It's a relationship. The plant has thousands of years of wisdom and knows exactly what you need. With the synthetic, it's just chemistry. You get some effects, but the spirit isn't there. There's no master, no teacher. The other big difference is that Wachumita has many alkaloids and compounds that work together, not just the mescaline. We call that the entourage effect. It's a whole balanced plant intelligence. The synthetic is just one isolated molecule. Some people think that they can just take the active ingredient and get the same effect. But they're missing the point. It's like trying to learn from a book instead of sitting with a real teacher who knows you personally. Therein lies some of the problems with our testing right now, because they're using synthetic psilocybin in most of the testing. Now, just now, they're starting to say, hey, you know what? What if we gave them the whole mushroom? Duh. Same here, Kim. Kim just said that's what she feels about marijuana extracts or concentrates. Just sort of an emptiness. But yeah, it was like, and I'll be honest with you, I'm sitting here, Mr. Study and Mr. Research and pay attention to all the studies, and it honestly never really occurred to me that they're using, I mean, it occurred to me, I realize it, but they're using synthetic compounds. The company that I work with, that I send stuff to, turns it into synthetic compounds for testing purposes. So they're not even using the fullness of what we're sending them. So I think that's going to change. I think we see a change on the horizon now, as people are saying, why don't we test it the way we really use it? We don't use it this way, sitting in a house with a facilitator. This is how we really use it. Now let's apply it that way and get some survey and test results from that. You just saw Pops work through anger. Did you notice that? You guys just watched Pops work through anger. An anger issue, a frustration is where it really was. It really came from frustration. Look. Came from here. There might have been a little of this in there, but I'm feeling that. Give me 5 people that like this wheel. Isn't that a good wheel? Look at all the things. Hello, moms. I love you. I'll see you soon. Do you get it? It's like, Pops, you're starting to get angry. Why? Well, let me look at my wheel. And that's not all there is, but that's a pretty nice assortment of anger-inducing original emotions. My anger is just my reaction. Well, that's neat, Michael. This is the stuff Bob sits around and reads. I do. I study this stuff. I want to be better. I got a chance to practice it. It was like I was talking about it yesterday. I get to put it into effect right away this morning. How to manage my anger. Well, it's a self-righteous anger. It's okay. No. Anger is a reaction. I agree with Brene Brown here. I think it's a secondary emotion. It's a reactionary emotion. Anger doesn't just come out of nowhere. Anger does not just, boom, here it is. Joy does. Happiness does. They come from the actual event. But anger is because of something else. Just teaching ourselves that, you guys. We have to understand what a tool that is. That means I don't have to react. That means I don't need to go to the second phase. If I can stop right before the tea kettle goes off and say, what's creating the steam? Yesterday I left you on a cliff. Okay? Brene Brown was writing. As a union organizer and a lifelong activist, I think anger is often the most compassionate response to experiencing or witnessing injustice. I pointed to injustice on my wheel this morning. There's a piece of me that feels this stuff is unjust. The billionaires and the people that are still getting paid up in our government, and we have people down here can't pay rent, can't buy food, don't know if they can, if the water bill's going to be turned off. I just read, this is the highest level in America history. The highest level where families are living paycheck to paycheck. That qualifies as if you miss 2 paychecks, you either aren't eating or you aren't paying rent. 40%. 40% of Americans. That's if they're lucky to even be getting a paycheck. People on benefits can't heat their homes. That's right, Cyber. I mean, we could go on and to talk about the injustice of this. And anger is somewhat of a compassionate response to that. That's fair. That's fair. But I don't want to just sit around and say, well, I'm angry, therefore I'm compassionate. It's like, then what do I do with it? What do I do with it? I count my pennies and I give away every one but the last one that I need. Anger can be a powerful catalyst for change that doesn't need to be explained, or, and this is where I left you yesterday, it doesn't need to be explained or justified. We don't have to justify it. I get to feel it for a minute. It's not productive. I already know that. So I'm not going to feel it for long. But you're justified if you feel compassionate anger. Because what's really behind that is pain, grief. Grief for the people. You feel grief for the people that are hurting you more than you. Betrayal. You feel betrayed by a system that you believed in. Disappointment. Disappointment that we could treat each other like this. That we're not equal. We're not really equal after all. There's people gassing up their yachts. $60,000 fuel bill. Oh well. We're not treated equal. So that's what's really behind it. Is these feelings. You just identify them, you speak to them, and then you know there's not much more you can do except for the fourth agreement. Are you doing your best? Or are you just sitting around complaining? Are you just sitting around having compassionate anger? That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Good enough. Let's go to step 4. Do your best. Look around. There's other things you can do. And it doesn't always include, Pops, you don't have enough money in it to help everybody. Okay, then what else can you do? What else can you do? People can't pay for the child care to go to work. Child care costs as much as you're making. Mom, start a local food drive. That's beautiful. What else I can do is go down and volunteer at the food bank. Are there boxes you need filled up here? Please, let me help. You're not angry when you're filling up a box at a food bank for somebody that's going to pick it up. You can still feel pain and grief and disappointment and betrayal, but they fade away, especially if you don't give them to anger. And then you start replacing them by gratitude. Start replacing them by contentment. Are we content with what we have, or are we still grasping? Well, other people don't have enough. In Braving the Wilderness, I write about pain, hate, and anger, especially as they pertain to social justice issues. I'm going to share an excerpt with you here. Is this topic okay with you guys? We're all sitting around getting angry. Part of it's completely justified. We're looking at the social issues and saying, this is some BS. But what do we do about it? And why are we feeling that way? Is there underlying issues? And then this is just at the social justice issue level. There's more things that we could talk about at other places. In Braving the Wilderness, I write, sometimes owning our pain and bearing witness to struggle means getting angry. When we deny ourselves the right to be angry, We deny our pain. There are a lot of coded shame messages in the rhetoric of, why so hostile? Don't get hysterical. I'm sensing too much anger. All of these responses are normally code for your opinions or your emotions are making me uncomfortable, so suck it up and stay quiet. One response to this is, get angry and stay angry. I haven't seen this advice borne out in the research. What I've found is that, yes, we all have the right and even the need to feel our own anger. It's an important human experience. And it's critical to recognize that maintaining any level of rage, anger, or contempt over a long period of time is not sustainable and not mentally healthy. Anger is a catalyst. Holding on, it will make us exhausted and sick. Internalizing anger, don't talk about it. Suck it up. Suck it up, buttercup. No, I gotta tell you guys, I'm here. I got frustrated. It's frustrating. I see the injustice. But I also see a way out. For me. I don't see a big picture way out right now. I don't. But I don't control that. I'm not the president yet. Boy, would we have a different setup. I can tell you now. Boy, would we have a different setup. Can you imagine a leader that just sat there day after day, all they did from the podium and from their emails was talk about being kind to one another? Let's encourage, let's lift up, let's help, let's be charitable, let's volunteer. Could you imagine that person? No, we almost go, who? What? There's no such thing. Can you imagine? Every day, some kind of beautiful, positive message. Can you imagine that person actually eats last? Not first and the most. That's a good example, Cyber Jolie. That man gave and gave and gave till his last breath. Jimmy Carter. Can you imagine our leaders today going out and building habitats for the homeless? What? Do what? I don't even have to go to Congress. I don't even have to show up. And I'm getting a paycheck. Screw you guys. Anger is a catalyst. Holding on to it will only make us exhausted and sick. Internalizing anger will take away our joy and our spirit. You'll just sit around a cranky, grumpy, get off my porch old dude. I don't want to be that guy. I don't know anybody that when they were a kid said, I can't wait to be get off my lawn the guy. And this is my goal in life, is to tell all the kids in the neighborhood to get off my lawn. While we're playing on our neighbor's lawn, we're playing touch football. I don't think it's ever happened on the planet Earth. If it did, you're a weirdo. But we still love you. The only one that could possibly have ever thought that is Jesus Christ in Australia. Kidding. Maybe Herbie. Herbie could be a get off my lawn guy. No way. No way. Herbie would say, hey, come over here, kid. You want to talk? Let's talk about stuff. They would get off of Herbie's lawn and somewhere out of hearing pretty quickly. Oh gosh. Is the get off my lawn guy happier on Fridays? I don't know. Is he? Yeah, Herbie'd want to tell you about the speakers he put in his Datsun 240Z in 1983. And the booster pack and everything that came with it. Okay? Herbie would never kick anybody off his lawn. Hey, come check this out. Oh, gosh. I don't want to be get off my lawn guy. Never. I never grew up wanting to be. Classic. We all know a get off the lawn guy. I think there's one living next door to me. I'm not kidding you. This guy's never done more than grunt at me in 6 months now. The most I've gotten out of this guy, oh, hey, how you doing? I was like, well, I got a grunt today. That's a good one. Okay, I don't know my neighbor. I don't know him from Adam. Oh, it's not the kind of thing a guy does is goes over and knocks on his neighbor's door and says, hey, like, I'm not ready for that. So he just grunts at me when after I do big, hey, 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 hey. He's like, eh. Okay. Oh, your neighbor trespassed you 2 days ago, a true get off my lawn person. There used to be one in the neighborhood I grew up in. But it was a grandma. It wasn't a guy. It was a lady. She was an older woman. And her son played the drums. And he'd always be in the back playing drums. And he's like 40-year-old son living at home. Who knows? I don't have the insight to back then what his issue was, but he had issues. So he'd play the drums. I don't know what it was. I don't know. I'm not going to assume. And we used to call her Old Lady James. Her last name was James. So I was, oh yeah, you know, Old Lady James. Well, who do you think was the first person that you would ding-dong ditch? Old Lady James. Okay, who was the first person that got dirt clods thrown at their house? Old Lady James. Who was the first person when you figured out that acid could scar somebody's front yard? Little vandal. Who was the first person who had brown spots put all over their front yard? Old Lady James. No wonder she told us to get off the lawn all the time. We terrorized the poor lady. Okay? We terrorized her. To the degree one time, she opens the front door and she comes forward out there giving her a hard time. She opens the door, she comes out, and she's... True story. She has a whole stack of drumsticks from her son Billy. And she starts winging drumsticks at us. She starts winging drumsticks at us. Oh God, we're all running from these flying. Man, if she'd hit a kid with one of those drumsticks, Oh, no, well, we didn't sue as much back then. Or call the cops. Old Lady James, the day she threw drumsticks at us, we were like, we need to calm down on Old Lady James. That lady got angry. Pardon me. A little bit of a cold still. Sometimes, let me finish this up. I don't want to just sit here all cranky and angry. I want us to laugh a little too. Okay? Oh, Sammy, if somebody winged drumsticks at you, I'm talking she probably had 10. Okay? We all shot someone. Jesus Christ, no we didn't. Jesus Christ goes, we all shot someone with an air rifle before. No, we didn't. What are you talking about? No, we didn't all. Okay? Just bad boys in Australia do that. Paint gun once in a while, but oh yeah, we all did that. I don't think Nippy shot anybody with an air rifle. I don't. She's here. Jolie never shot anybody with an air rifle in her life. Okay? Just the really bad boys did that. Okay? Don't lump us in with you. Nippy, I definitely did not. Oh, I never shot anybody with an air rifle. Oh my God. Oh, that's not even anger. You weren't experiencing anger when you were shooting at those guys. You were having, that was joy. You were going straight to joy. You were right between happiness and joy. Oh, Billy D and Mr. Phillips, they've taken a couple of pot shots. They admit it. I never pot shot at anybody in my whole life. Okay, never. We all have done that. I mean, come on. No, we haven't. Okay, let me go on. I've never even shot a paint gun. I always wanted to go, but I've never done it. Okay. Wrist rocket. Remember a step up? You got the slingshot, but then you got the wrist rocket, where the whole thing formed over your wrist, and you could pull back. And it's surgical tubing instead of rubber bands. Surgical tubing. Man, we would take a nut from a Bolton nut, take a little nut, metal nut, wrist rocket from about 20, 30 feet away, and shoot it right through a metal trash can. It would leave a hole in a metal trash can. It was like deadly. If you'd have shot one of those at one of your friends, you're going to put his eye out. Let me finish today. Sometimes anger can mask a far more difficult emotion like grief. Marble would be pretty deadly too. But use a metal on, oh my goodness. Can you mask a far more difficult emotion like grief, regret, or shame? And we need to use it to dig into what we're really feeling. Either way, anger is a powerful catalyst, but it's a life-sucking companion. So do I think anger is a primary emotion or not? I don't know. There are so many competing lists of primary emotions. I don't know if it matters if anger is on that list or not. Here are the 3 things I do know from the work I've done over these past years. Number 1, anger often masks emotions that are more difficult to name and are really difficult to own. You want to name them and own them. What's the more difficult emotion that's causing that anger? Man, when you start talking to yourself like that, you're well on your way to mental health, some serious wellness level. Why am I feeling anger right now? I have to go to the other emotion, the deeper emotions, maybe 2 or 3 combo, and own those. Understand where they're coming from. See if there's something I can do about those, instead of just sitting in anger. Number 2, just as an indicator light in our car tells us to pull over and check things out, anger is a very effective emotional indicator light that tells us to pull over and check things out. I love that. Anger is your indicator light. And third, anger in response to experiencing or witnessing injustice, pain, and struggle can also be a powerful catalyst for change. But by definition, a catalyst sparks change. It's not the change. So it can spark a change, but that's not the change yet. Give me 5 people that liked anger class for the last 2 days. The best part that we learned about it is there is an underlying emotion, and we can control anger without living in it. And we have a right to get angry about this or that, but we don't want it to last long, and we want to find out why we're there. And we don't want to use anger on a person. Anger about injustice isn't going to be on a person, it's about an issue. Love you guys. Thank you for today. Cracking me up out there. We all have shot an air rifle at somebody once or twice. Myself 54 times. Like, Jesus Christ. What are you guys doing in Australia? You guys go have a great day. I love being here. I love hanging out with you. And I will be doing the same thing here tomorrow. Right? Hours fly by, Anthony. Have a great day. 4 things. Be impeccable with your word and your air rifle aim. Jesus. Don't take anything personal. Even if someone shoots an air rifle at you. Don't make assumptions. Don't assume you're going to hit your target. Go in here. And do your best. Which usually means 1 shot. Okay? Try to get it in 1 shot. Go have a great day. Thank you, Headbuster. Always do your best. Pops. Peace. Let me give you guys a scroll out, okay? Cleany and Billy D and Jesus Christ and Hags. And Anthony and Joe D's. Haggy, thank you. You're good stuff. Calico Kitty. Hags, I'm popping something in the mail for you today. Calico Kitty, Herbie, Kimberly. The International Kindness Ambassador, Classic and Cranky. Good morning, Cranks. Herbie Von Worthy, get off my lawn, Caberti. Mark Z and Dawn, Billy D, Anthony Hunt, Cleany, Lynette, love you. Sammy P, Trenty, the Trenty Trenterson, Jesus Christ, and Joe D's and Justin LaFlower. Anthony Hunt, be a good person, show the vets what they fought for. Kind of like that. Headbuster, Pidgey, Page. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. Zozo LSD, Shroom Digger, Donnie Zimmerman with Marky, snapping on you, Haggy. It was nice to see moms. Sammy P, Nurs, good morning. Calico Meow Giddy, Cyber Jolie, Jesus Christ, Herbs. Mr. Phillips, Kimberly Bolden, Hagee, nice, thank you. Dando, good morning, Dinny Danto. Joe, Jesus Christ. Wazzy, the Wizzy Wazerton. Pops, peace, love, kindness. We now know how to manage our anger. Practice. Pops out.